of your situation. And yes, it was fancy hair day today, and I do love my hair when she does it all pretty like this, but it also drives me crazy because it gets everywhere. But let's talk about how to be more positive. It's kind of funny because I'm known as being a positive person, and I really generally am, but I'm not perfect. And I realized, okay, I realized a couple things. One, I realized I'm a lot more judgmental than I'm really comfortable with. I don't want to be that person. So I'm working on it. But I got to thinking, for a long time, dealing with my health issues, I was really severely depressed. Well, I was depressed before. I was depressed before. It's got a lot worse after. And for a long time, being okay was something to strive for. And for years, when people ask me how I'm doing, I tell them, oh, I'm okay. I'm okay. And what that usually means is I feel like absolute hell, but I don't want to talk about it. And eventually I did. Yeah, still, I'm going to feel like hell sometimes. There's nothing I can really do about that. But instead of getting sucked into that, telling myself, you know what, this is going to be fine. You're going to be okay. It really made a big difference. Well, then I got to thinking about it. I don't want to just be okay anymore. I want to be good. So a friend of mine asked me yesterday, how are you? I said, I'm good. I'm good. And I kind of explained what I was doing because they were like, well, that's an unusual answer from you. And it's like, well, I need to be more positive. I need to be more positive about it. I cannot complain that I'm not bringing positive things into my life if I've got just an okay attitude. I need to have a good attitude. So let's talk about how to be more positive. This information is from tinybuddha.com. When you when you live with chronic pain, this stuff is really depressing. It's indescribably difficult to deal with, and it's not, the physical aspects of it are actually the easiest thing to deal with. It's the emotional part of it. It's the way your whole life changes, and the way that people around you change in their attitudes toward you, because they just do. And if that's where you're at, you've got to learn to find the beauty in life. So step one, you need to believe that it's a choice. And for the vast majority of us, it is a choice. We cannot control what happens. We cannot control what other people do. But we can learn to control how we choose to respond to these things. And it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, if you're healthy or not. We all have the same choice every morning. We can wake up and we can be grateful for the good things that we have going for us, and we can make the best of our situation, and we can choose to look on the bright side. We can choose to be happy, or you can choose to focus on the negative things in your life, and guess what? You're going to have a crappy day, guaranteed, if that's what you choose. But make no mistake, it is a choice. You might be in a situation that's not pleasant. You might be in circumstances that are very difficult. Believe me, I understand that. But you still have a choice on what you want to focus on what you choose to dwell on what you choose to take out of that day. Number two, step two, you've got to eliminate negativity. I used to be really, really, really politically active online, and I'm still a little bit, but you know what? I'm not very much anymore because it's too negative. I had to eliminate a lot of the negativity. I don't even watch the news very much anymore. Now, I stay informed, but I will tell you, I don't watch any of the mainstream news. None of it. I refuse to. But I have my sources that I go to. I have one that leans a little right and one that leans a little left. I figured I'm getting pretty close to an accurate story. But you need to eliminate negativity. If you have people in your life who all they're doing is dragging you down, why are you spending time with people like that? You don't have, life is short. Life is precious. Your time is valuable. Don't waste it on people who aren't worth it. If it's someone you can't gently cut out of your life, maybe it's a family member, then you have to set boundaries. And you know what? When you set boundaries with people, if you've been kind of a doormat and you start setting boundaries, you're going to get a hell of a lot of pushbacks. You need to know that. But If you don't care enough about yourself to set and enforce your own boundaries, why should anybody else care? They'll walk all the hell over you because you're letting them. You need to also look at your own behavior. A few years ago, my friend Jennifer, she lives in Anchorage, and we would, I can't even think of the name of the app we used to use, but we would leave these video messages for each other, and you could go up to, I think, five or 10 minutes. And Jen and I are both really pretty happy people, but we realized all we were doing, it got to a point where all we were doing was just bitching and complaining. And so we made a rule. We looked at our own behavior and like, okay, this is not acceptable. So the rule was, you can complain and bitch all you wanted, but you had to end the conversation with 3 things that you were grateful for. This stuff's important. You cannot be, if you're pointing your fingers at everybody else in your life, guess what? You got 3 fingers pointing back at yourself. So you need to take a look at your own behavior before you start making accusations about other people being negative, because it might be you. You might be the negative one. And you know what? It's okay if you are, because I used to be super negative and I'm definitely not anymore. Step 3, you need to look for the positive. Most situations are going to have a silver lining. It may be very hard to find, but it's going to be there. You need to teach yourself how to take an emotional step back and try to view the situation from a more positive perspective. Worst case scenario, it's a learning experience. Now you know that does not work for you. Find the lesson in it. When my aunt passed several years ago, it was really freaking difficult. It was horrible. It was the hardest thing I had faced at that point in my life. I've since lost my mother anyway, that's another story. But when my aunt passed away, it was so hard, and we were all so full of grief and hurt. But you know what? We also made some really good memories when she passed. My cousin and his wife came up from California. Now, I had met his wife before, but I'd never had the chance to really talk to her. We met pretty much in passing. But they were here for several days, and I got to spend some time with her. I got to get to know her, and you know what? She's an amazing lady, and I appreciate her friendship. We would not have that relationship had my aunt not passed. Now, of course, I'd rather have my aunt, but that's not an option. So I had to find my silver lining. My sister-in-law, she's been married to my brother, my gosh, since I was I don't even think I was old enough to drink. She's been in the family a long time, and we've always been really close. But you know what? Going through my aunt's stuff, cleaning out her condo, it really deepened our friendship in a way I truly never would have thought possible. But I had to learn. I had learned already by that point, thank goodness, I'd learned to look for the beauty through the dark times. When things get really bad, I'll tell myself at the end of the day, okay, wasn't a very good day, but you know what? The best thing I can say about today is I'll never have to live through it again. And tomorrow is always a chance to start fresh. Step number 4, you need to reinforce your own positivity. You don't have to like everything about yourself. I don't think anybody does, but for goodness sake, stop dwelling on your shortcomings. Focus on your good qualities. You have them, I promise you do. And if you don't think so, because I've been there, I've been that down, okay? I get it. If you really feel that way, there's got to be somebody that you trust. Ask them. Ask them what they see in you. Ask them why they're friends with you. Ask them why they love you. And build from that answer. Affirmations work. We all like to laugh. Those of us of a certain age will remember Stuart Smalley and, gosh darn it, people like me. But you know what? That stuff's been around for a long time because it's effective. It works. Who gives a damn if it's cheesy? If you sit there, look, we have the ubiquitous they say we have 50 to 70,000 thoughts in a day. And a lot of us, I'd say probably most of us, are in the habit of criticizing ourselves almost unconsciously all day. 50 to 70,000, I'm sorry, I'm super itchy. 50 to 70,000 thoughts of negativity a day are pretty damned intense. Why don't you spend a few minutes boosting yourself up? Tell yourself that you're amazing and that you're beautiful, because you know what? You are. You really are. Even if you're not beautiful on the outside, you can be beautiful on the inside. Some of my favorite people, in fact, Most of my favorite people have big hearts. I don't care what people look like. You need to let your light shine. You need to just be yourself. You need to be authentic, and you need to, appreciate the things about you that are a little weird. As long as you're not hurting anybody, embrace that stuff. Because when you do that, when you learn to be unapologetically you, guess what? People will find you. Your tribe, as they say, will find you. Your people will find you. I promise they will. If this is an area, if positivity is really difficult for you, I get that. I used to be there, and I think a lot of people would be really surprised to find out that I am very prone to extremely dark moods, horribly dark, very negative. But you know what? I learned to be grateful. And when I start getting really down like that, I have to remind myself, okay, I need to be, what am I grateful for today? So if you're really struggling with that, get a little notebook and write down 3 things that you're grateful for every single day. And if you're really stuck, I have nothing to be, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You've got electricity, you've got running water, you got a roof over your head. Those 3 things put you ahead of millions of people on this planet. And we take it very for granted in the Western world, but you shouldn't. And finally, step 5, you need to share your positivity. Be nice. Kindness does not cost you a damn thing. Be kind. Hi, Lucia. How are you, honey? Thanks for your time. Be kind. You need to follow the golden rule. Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. I've never seen that. That's cute. Thank you. You need to follow the golden rule. And you know what? You need to even follow the golden rule with people who are not nice to you. Honestly, they need your kindness. They need your generosity more than anybody else. And by generosity, I don't mean you have to give them things. No, honey, I've been here a few months. But thank you. It's nice to see you. The people who run around being jerks and hurting other people, they do that. It's not because they're broken. It's because, thank you. It's because they're hurt. Something inside them is really hurt. And sometimes just one person being kind can make a big difference for somebody. Compliment strangers. Seriously, the best way for me to cheer myself up if I'm really down, I like to go out somewhere, and I don't do this as much anymore, but I like to go out somewhere and people watch and just throw random compliments out to strangers. And it's fun to see their reactions, especially if you're at an airport, because nobody expects it at an airport. But it's a really neat thing, and you're doing something, you're passing joy, you're sharing your positivity. And a lot of times we'll say something nice to somebody and it'll change their entire day. It totally is. I think I was in Minneapolis years ago, and this very nice looking woman was walking by, and she did look, I'm like, how the hell do you even get it to an airport looking that good? She looked so pretty. And she was walking by, and I said, excuse me, you look beautiful today. And she literally just rocked back on her heels. And she's like, oh my gosh, that is so kind of you. Thank you. Be nice. Spread some positivity. And if you don't have anything nice to say, shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. Just because you're having a bad day, you don't have the right to go and crap all over other people and try to bring them down. Thank you. It's been really weird. I have posted my nails on Twitter forever, but my account's really grown lately. And all of a sudden, the last 2 times that I've posted pictures of my nails, I've had really bitchy, hateful comments from men, which shocked me because I would have expected it. Sorry, ladies, I would have expected it from women. The first time the guy was like, tell me you don't have a job without telling me you don't have a job. Yeah, thanks, bitch. I have a job, and I'm very good at my job. I can type 100 words a minute with these nails. I can haul hay, saddle horses, move horse crap with these nails. I split firewood. I have a wood boiler out in my garage. There's nothing wrong with somebody having fingernails. It doesn't mean that you can't have a job, for goodness sakes. Why did he have to say that? The guy the other day, those are nice if you like fake nails, I guess. Well, you know what, sweetheart? I don't do my nails for you, so I don't really give a damn what you think. But why exactly? But why? I just don't understand why people have to say that. But honestly, that night, I was kind of stewing on it a little because I'm only human. But that night I was like, think about how horrible you must feel about yourself to have the need to try to tear a random stranger down. I mean, that's sad. So I try to view those people with more empathy than anger. Although I'll be honest, sometimes they just piss me off. But that is all I have for tonight. I've got to go. I mean, again, I like the fancy hair, but it's driving me crazy because it is in my face. So I'm going to go get a ponytail holder in. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. I appreciate your time. Lucia, it's nice to see you, honey. Most of my audience is from Twitter, but if you have not done so, please subscribe to my Haps channel, and I will be back Wednesday at 5 o'clock Alaska time. Y'all take care. Oh, if you have any questions, the only place you're going to find me on social media is Twitter at Alaskan Courtney. I try to be very responsive, but if I don't catch it right away, just, hey, I saw your video and I have a question, and I promise I'll get back to you. But anyway, y'all have a great night.